Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time and I'm really sorry that I have not been able to upload any new videos, but here we are. If this is your first time in my channel, I would like to do a self-introduction. My name is Stefan and my channel is talking about anything related to Nordic or Nordic culture, as well as my life in Iceland. Before I start today's episode, don't forget to like my video and give a subscribe and put the bell on so you will not miss any new videos that I'm going to make in the future. Without further ado, let's getting started. So in today's video I will be talking about the current program that I am for learning Icelandic in University of Iceland. So as many of you probably know, I'm currently studying Icelandic, and the program that I'm in is called Icelandic as a Second Language BA program, and I'm currently the first year. So in this video I am going to talk about four things. Number one, I'm going to talk about the course's introduction. And number two, I'm going to compare the BA Icelandic as a Second Language program with a practical diploma, the program that I was in last year. And the third thing, I'm going to talk about the most difficult things that I have during the first year of study BA. And the last thing I'm going to talk about, that will be the suggestions that I give to every one of you who are interested in learning Icelandic in University of Iceland. Alright, so Icelandic as a Second Language BA program has so many choices. If you would like to take the full 3 years program, then that would be 180 credits. And if you would like to take the BA program as a major, then that will be for 2 years and it's in total 120 credits. And you will be able to choose a minor that will add up at another 60 credits into the program, so you'll be graduated with a major and a minor. So the first year, it's basically for foundation skills. Courses are basically cover three major parts. Number one is grammar, and number two is reading and writing skills, and number three is listening and speaking skills. So for grammar, they have grammar 1 for the first semester and grammar 2 for the second semester. And for reading and writing skills, they have Icelandic language 1 for the first semester and Icelandic language 2 for the second semester. And for listening and speaking, conversational practice 1 for the first semester and conversational practice 2 for the second semester. In the beginning, I thought this would not be so difficult before I start, because I realized there are only 3 courses, but actually each one of these courses are 10 credits, which means they require a certain amount of time and energy for you to focus on those courses. And each one of them have quite a few exercises and homework that you have to finish at home. The second thing that I would like to talk about is to compare the Diploma program and the BA program. As many of you know that I was in the Diploma program. This is just for 1 year, and this gives you the foundation skills of knowledge regarding Icelandic language. This is a perfect program for people who actually wanted to start or who is in the beginner level of language skills. So that is the reason why for practical diploma, this program is taught both in English and Icelandic. So if you do not understand what the teacher says, you always have a second chance to understand what they are trying to say in English, so that it makes sure you understand. But for BA program, it's very different. Whole BA program are taught in Icelandic. That's the reason why they actually have an entrance exam before going to the BA. And if you pass the entrance exam, then you could be able to carry on for the BA studies. In my opinion, I think BA program is more in the academic level. So it requires you have certain amount of knowledge of Icelandic. That's the reason why if you want to go for the BA program, you actually have to take entrance exam. And if you pass the entrance exam, then you are allowed to go for the BA program. However, for the practical diploma, because this program is taught both in English and Icelandic, so this program requires an English proficiency before you apply. So for students come from abroad, you will need to submit your English proficiency certificate. For example, if you have taken any IELTS or TOEFL English test, then you have to submit your document as per required. So my most difficulties for learning Icelandic in BA program, the first year, I would say is the ability of understanding everything what teacher says in Icelandic. Because BA program is very different from practical diploma. Everything is taught in Icelandic. Apart from sometimes some of the students might ask some questions that might be a bit difficult to understand, and then teacher might switch to English in order to let the students understand easier. But most of the time, the whole classes are taught in Icelandic. So in the beginning, it was a big jump for me, and I have to kind of really concentrate on what teacher says, but it didn't really help that much. So I have to kind of start to practice my listening skills. So I have talked to some of my classmates, and they are using the good way of practicing listening skills, which is listening to the broadcast or radio. So I have tried, and it starts to work. In the beginning it was difficult, but still this takes time. So there's a radio channel that I listen to quite often. It's called Útvarpssaga, but I talked to some of my Icelandic friends. They say that this channel is sort of like the Icelandic Fox News channel, so it's a little bit conservative, but for me it doesn't matter because I just only want to use the radio channel to practice my listening skills. And then it's about reading and writing skills. This is another most difficult thing that I would like to mention. I basically just try to practice more and try to write in Icelandic. For example, if I talk to my Icelandic friends, then I always try to write Icelandic instead of English, because this give me an opportunity to practice writing, and this is very important. But compare these three courses, I sometimes have a feeling that I feel like I am always trying to catch up to finish the homework from Icelandic language. This course is a bit different. It's basically focused on Icelandic reading and writing. So that's the reason why we always have a lot of homework from this subject. And the key of doing well with this subject is try to do every homework. The last thing is about grammar. Grammar is the most difficult thing for me, and I'm still struggling, and I know that I will always be struggling. The way for me to learn grammar is that I know it's very difficult for me to learn grammar by myself. That's the reason why I always like to study grammar with my friend. So 2 or 3 of us study together and try to help each other with it, because each one of us are good at different things. So it's definitely works for me. If you feel like study grammar is so difficult by yourself, then I would suggest you try to have a little study group with your friends, so it could work better. Okay, now I'm going to give you some suggestions from my first year of Study Icelandic in BA program. BA, one of the most important things for BA program that you have to understand is that the program is taught in Icelandic. So if you are thinking about taking the BA program, then please do not forget to start to practice your listening skills. Maybe you can use the whole summertime, try to listen to the radios or watch more Icelandic movies or TV series. Find whatever way that suits you the most. Secondly, don't be lazy with homework. As I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of homework in BA program, especially from Icelandic language, because this subject focus on reading and writing. So you need to put a lot of energy onto it. If you are being tiny little bit lazy, you miss anything, and this thing could actually appear in the final exams. So just always make sure that you do all the homework. These are very, very helpful. Number 3, when you study listening and speaking, it's slightly different compared to study grammar and reading and writing skills, because listening and speaking is the only subject that I would say do not require you always have 100% correct grammar. So that is also the reason why I love speaking and listening class the most. You have to always remember that when you are in the class for speaking and listening, try to always focus on listening and speaking, and don't care about grammar. Grammar is something for the grammar class, for the reading and the writing class. Because if you always think about grammar, then there's no way for you to start to talk, to speak Icelandic. I actually have some friends who've been living in Iceland for a couple of years, but they actually understand Icelandic because they live in Iceland for so many years, but they cannot speak because they're always worried or always shy that they cannot speak correct grammar. But the thing is, none of us speak 100% correct sentence. So just have to always remember that don't be shy to try to speak the language, because the more you practice, then the more you will be able to talk and to speak. Last, try to form a small study group for especially Icelandic grammar and reading and writing studies. I personally like this study group very much because it gave me an opportunity to communicate with other students, the way how they understand the grammar and also how they improve the reading and the writing skills. Because all of these courses are taught in Icelandic, and we are definitely not 100% sure that we understand everything. That's the reason why we need to study together to be able to understand as many things as possible. Alright, so this is my reviews of first year for BA Icelandic as a second language program. And if you have any questions, then you're more than welcome to write in the comments below. Let me know what are you struggling with in terms of learning Icelandic. We all know learning language is not easy. It's always takes time. So don't be so harsh on yourself, and also be patient with yourself. This is something certainly nowadays the young people don't really necessarily have. So just always remind yourself that you are doing great and you are learning one of the most difficult languages in the world. So you should be always proud of yourself. Alright, thank you so much for watching and see you next time. Bye!